Pick 'em pie, big gun Bryan Petrie, giving out the lot. One is mortal, you know it won't miss. Gonna take a shot. Dog lot, that's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt. Send them home, that's KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done. Slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known. Pick 'em pie from MMA tapes. Yeah, let's get it going.
Woo! Boys, last pay-per-view of the year. The last time I'll see these shining faces with me to break down a UFC pay-per-view. We got Timbo Slice. We got Christian Costello. He's already in the chat. I will bet you Smithers get finished. Trindaddy's here, of course. Let's fucking get it, boys. Niles OG, first one to comment. His comment, first comment was, let's go, boys. Pick them hard. And then Anthony Smithers will KO Reyes. Believe you me. I love the confidence. That's a big underdog play there. Niles OG, not sure if I agree with you. You have to wait till we pick that fight. But before we get started, well, hang on, Genie Day One's here. What's up, Genie? You're the man. Before we get started, I want to thank, obviously, the chat, the boys that are with me right now. You guys don't have to be here. You don't have to be doing this. It's amazing. But also, I want to thank my wife because today's our 9-year anniversary.
Oh, man.
And she's out to dinner with my children, and she was totally cool with me not being there to do the podcast. So all I'm saying, I know everyone on this screen right here has a good woman in their life. My wife is incredible. She supports me. All she wants to do is spend time with me and the children. And then if I'm not available, she spoils the kids. She's an amazing mother, amazing wife. Couldn't do life without her. So all the people out in the chat who are, throwing their dicks in whatever they want to throw their dicks into, maybe think about finding the right woman. Okay. Cause I was like that. I didn't know if I was ever going to get married in my 20s. I found the right woman. These guys on the screen found the right woman. So shout out Erica Petrie. She's the absolute best. So, and the chat's the best as well. You guys are the fucking best. The guys on the screen, let go. I already kind of talked to Christian a little bit. Timbo, how do you feel about this card? You like the card?
Oh, solid.
It's a good card. Yeah.
It's not top heavy like we've gotten, in previous months, pay-per-view cards. It's throughout, top to bottom, fucking solid. So I'm excited for sure.
Absolutely. It's been good. Trindaddy, let's see. Bill, my girl since high school, find yourselves a good one, people. Yeah. Trindaddy married his high school sweetheart. That's what it is, man. All right.
Trindaddy is actually 19 years old, though.
Trindaddy, right. He's currently 19 years old. People don't realize that about Trend. He's 19. He's a young man. So it's a lot to look forward to. Trent, how old are you, though? I actually don't know how your age is. Hit the chat up, Trenny. He's an Ohio guy, lives in Arizona. Married to his high school sweetheart, which is incredible. Diehard MMA fan, which is admirable. And shout out all those people sending me their Spotify raps, and I'm making some of their top lists for podcasts to listen to. Like, that's pretty cool. He is. I'll turn 39 in 2 weeks. Oh, Trent's older than me. Wow, we're about the same age, but a little bit older than me. 1985. Well, shout out Trent Daddy. You look 19, buddy. All right, here we go. First fight of the night. Kennedy Nzechukwu, I don't know how to say his name, minus 550 versus Lucas Brzeski, plus 410. Lucas Brzeski stinks. He's lucky he's even on this card. Kennedy going up to heavyweight. I love. He has the body type for it. He put on a little size. Safe Sayud said he's been barking at Safe to go up to heavyweight forever. Safe was unsure. Now he's up there. He's looked pretty fucking good. And Lucas Brzeski, this guy's just, again, if you look at Lucas Brzeski outside the UFC, that motherfucker stuck every needle in his ass he could, allegedly. Allegedly, don't sue me, Lucas. But he looked phenomenal physically. He gets in the UFC and he lays an egg. I think Kennedy's going to steamroll him here. The line is obviously representing that at minus 550. I'm not sitting there saying something that's crazy. I don't have a hot take on this fight. I think Kennedy gets it done. Lucas, though, he's been knocked out before, but he's also showed like a good chin. So I think you can run in some trouble if you want to play him by knockout because, you get a little greedy, try to cut that number. I think Kennedy could be a good parlay piece for someone who's rocking a 4 or 5 legger parlay. Not going to be me. I'm taking Kennedy. Christian, I like your hat. What do you got, bub?
You would guide the people to parlay a minus 650 dude who just lost to OSP like 3 or 4 months ago.
Bro, in like a 4 or 5 legger, bro. Yeah, you listen to what this Timbo handle him. Put him on your list, Timbo. I don't think I can afford your hitman quote, but put him on a list. I'll say, bro.
Give you a discount.
This guy's coming off a loss to OSP, and he beat Huggy Bear, who broke his leg in the introductions.
Yeah,
those are his last 2 fights, and he deserves a 650. He deserves nothing.
I don't know if I said he deserves a 6.
Nothing.
I think 650 is right because Brzeski sucks.
Okay, Brzeski does stink. He does have decent hands, though. He's not very good on the ground. Doesn't have any power. His chin isn't really good. Dr. Kennedy hits really hard. He's just super untrustworthy. Sometimes he does look great, and sometimes he just doesn't show up. So I don't agree with the 650 price tag. I do think he'll win, but this fight stinks.
Yeah, this is one of few on this card that's like, gosh, I don't love. But I mean, listen, it's not like they're putting it. Sometimes they put these heavyweights way too high in the card.
No, this is perfect.
Perfect opening. Let him open.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be still eating a little bit. Cool. Kennedy won. All right, let's move on. Timbo, what do you got?
I appreciate this being the first card on the fight because Kennedy is not to be trusted. That is 100% certain, and I will be the guy putting him in my parlay, my however many fights are on this card list parlay.
Yeah,
but I mean, Kennedy is just huge, like
big boy.
It's amazing that he's just now moving to heavyweight. But Brzeski obviously can't be trusted either, and I think Kennedy gets it done. Hopefully early. He has the potential to get it done early. But I'll just play money line and hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Yeah, this is a fight that I want to chase the knockout on. Let's see what it is. Not by knockout. I don't know if they're okay. They do have props up. Earlier today, they didn't have props up. Kennedy by knockouts -160. So you're cutting the price down, but also you're pigeonholing yourself to one way of victory. I mean, Kennedy could win this numerous ways. But yeah, we're on Kennedy. Klaus says, Big Norm. There's a rumor going around, since I'm the Big Norm aficionado, that Big Norm is enhancing another part of her body.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
She wants to be Big Norm. You know what I mean? That's the rumor. I peeped her Instagram like 6 hours. This was yesterday. It was a 6-hour post ago or whatever yesterday, and it didn't look like the procedure had been done. I have no idea how old that post was, like if she filmed it, whatever, and just threw it up. But there's some rumors going around that Big Norm is enhancing herself. So shout out Big Norm. I love it. All right, next up, Clay Guida +700 versus Chase Hooper -1100. Woo! That is steep for the old hoop, man, even though here's the thing about Chase Hooper. When he fought Steve Garcia, I wanted him cut from the UFC because I felt like he took years off his life. And then he just keeps getting better. He's traveling the world. He's from a small little town in Washington, and he's traveling. He went to Askren's camp. He's been in places, and he's improving. I mean, he's outstriking people in the feet. He knocked down Slavoklos. Last time out, he looked great. No one wants to hang with him on the ground. He's hard to fucking hold down on the ground. Trindaddy's got the line right there. And it's interesting because Clay Guida is kind of like a timeless guy, right? He is old as shit. He's been in wars, but he still is fighting decently. It's not like when you watch Clay fight, you're like, oh my God, this is sad. This isn't like a Tony Ferguson situation. This isn't like a BJ Penn at the end of his career. This is a guy who's still competing. Mm-hmm. But the problem with Clay is Clay's going to want to probably wrestle a little bit. And if it gets to the ground, I just see him getting choked out. He's been choked out before. Clay's got a pretty solid chin. He is small, shorter for the vision. Hooper's big, long, and reach. I'm going to play Hooper, but I'm only going to go sub only, -165 on DraftKings. I think this line is crazy, 1,100 on Chase Hooper. He could get clipped by Clay Guida. Anything can happen. It's fucking MMA, but I'm only going Chase Hooper sub only, -165. That's going to be my play on this. It's a bet I've actually already placed as well. I hate doing prop plays that are minus money. I prefer them plus money, obviously. But I see a real clear path to victory for Chase Hooper if he wants to scoop up a neck or a triangle or something off his back. I think Clay's going to want to avoid the ground, but he does do a ton of grappling. He does kind of just sink back into that. If he gets hurt, especially in the feet, he gets hurt, it's whoa, and he dives for legs. That's his bread and butter. That's what he does. Timbo, you taking a shot on old Clay Guida here, bub?
Nah, I can't do it.
Can't do it.
This -1100 it's crazy. In my opinion, Chase Hooper should never be a -1100. Just given he has looked much better in his last fights, but I go back to that Steve Garcia fight when he was just absolutely mauled. It was horrible, and that wasn't that long ago. But obviously, Clay's definitely past his prime, his prime wasn't even really that good, but he does compete. You know, he's a tough dude. I could see him maybe snatching a neck too, man. Chase has got some long limbs, long neck giraffe boy. So, yeah, I mean, I probably won't play this whatsoever. Maybe Chase, maybe Clay Guida by sub. That's probably a really good number. But other than that, Clay's got no power whatsoever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chase should get this done. But I won't touch that money line.
I love Genie just bringing it all out. You know, they grappled. He's pulling clips from Gilbert Burns' show. I love that right there. I think that's probably why Clay took this fight is he felt something in that grappling. This isn't grappling, this is MMA. So hold on, what is this? If you're so old, you are a painting in Kenny Florian's house, you should not be facing 24 Chase Super. Sorry, Clay. That is very true. Kenny Florian's got a very nice picture of him whooping up on Clay. Christian, curious. Are you gonna take Clay and possibly win the final card of the year? Because I don't think we're coming back from a 7-point deficit, brother.
A couple things first.
Okay.
You didn't tell him who the champ was.
Who is it?
It's you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reason I do that is I forgot, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. Yep, you're the champ. The second thing, Trim put up the line, and if you saw, he said that he called him Chase Mr. Hands Hooper. I don't know if you guys know who Mr. Hands is, or if the chat and the listeners know who Mr. Hands is. If you don't, then look it up. Except for you, Mom, do not look it up. But yeah, if anybody else doesn't know,
I'm thinking of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Mr. Hand, the teacher.
No, but Mr. Hands is somebody different.
Is a pervert, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't want to look it up. Is it
horse sex case?
Horse? Oh God, dude, I can't do the animal stuff, bro. I think I've told you the story before. But really good friend of mine moved to Indiana, and he was a really good musician. And AIM back in the day, for all the young kids, they might not know what it is. AIM, they would send you links, and it would just be check out my band, and you couldn't really see the hyperlink or where it's going to. I'm like, oh, cool, Lance. You know his name's Lance. Lance got, I want to check it. Because I haven't seen him, whatever. Click on it, and it's a dude getting fucked by a fucking donkey, and I couldn't exit off my computer. I basically ripped the plug out of the goddamn wall, dude. That is fucking disturbing. But good reference by Chin there, because that makes my skin crawl. But go ahead, break down the fight, CC.
So the only thing I really disagree with what you said, Brian, you're going to play him by a submission. I think the better value is inside the distance. It's like minus 220, just because Chase has some nasty ground and pound. And I mean, even if Clay gets him down, I think he'll be able to sweep him early. I mean, they've grappled once already. I didn't bother watching it, but I believe Chase Super won.
He did.
Yeah, and I mean, those guys are always joking when they're grappling. Chase, he improves at a pretty rapid rate. I don't put any stock into the Steve Garcia thing. He's done that to everybody else he's faced since then anyways.
It's also a while ago. I'm just saying, when that happened, I'm like, Chase, he needs to size up, needs to get better, and he did both those things.
Yeah, so I'm going to play it inside the distance. Obviously, that means I like Chase Hooper. I'm going to play him inside the distance. He's also one of those guys that is so damn hittable. If he gets cracked early, he gets rocked or whatever, I'll be hopping in on the live line right there because, I mean, I think he'll be able to come back and Clay Guida will slow down. Chase Hooper's never slowed down. So kind of like Chase Hooper every which way, more than you guys do, apparently.
Yeah. And Jeannie says, if you're going to bet finish, might as well sub for the odds, man. He's calling you out, Christian. He's saying, hey, Christian, you're a dum-dum, okay? Hey, Christian, use your head, you dum-dum. That's what he's saying.
I went to the University of Northern Colorado. No dum-dums went there.
I went to the Cincinnati State Technical Community College, the Surges, bro. What's a surge? Don't know. I'm pretty sure our mascot was a surge protector. Yeah. Timbo, where'd you go to college? Old Dominion, right?
Old Dominion Monarchs. I don't even know what a monarch is, for being honest.
Man, I know everything about this guy, Timbo. Here, your birthday is sometime soon, ain't it?
Next Tuesday.
See that? This fucking brain, man. Don't feel me. I knew you were a December guy. All right, next up, Michael Chiesa. He's Italian. Don't forget that. Plus 110 is what I got him yesterday or this morning, excuse me, versus Max Griffin, minus 130. Very interesting fight. Money coming on both sides of this. Line them moving. Michael Chiesa's plus 130 earlier this week, plus 110. I picked Michael Chiesa on the Eryk and Florian show. I'm going to ride with Michael Chiesa. I looked at Max Griffin's record. Max Griffin's going to piece up Chiesa on the feet, right? I mean, Max Griffin's a big dude for 170. He's got awkward striking. He does have some power. It's herky-jerky, but he can hurt you. And Chiesa's stand-up is trash. It's awful, right? He's got a couple good 1-2 high kick, and then he wants to take you down. But Max has never really fought anybody that's really pushed him to take him down. Besides Colby Covington, he got 6 and then he got dominated, but that was his UFC debut. Sure, he's gotten better. I'm sure he's going to snuff a couple takedowns like Chiesa. Chiesa looked very motivated, and I know it was against Tony Ferguson, but he looked like, I'm tired of this talk of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because he's trying to get on the desk, he's trying to be in the commentary booth. He's trying to be the Dom Cruz. He's working the desk. He's trying to work his way there. And he hasn't really put much consistency in his performances. I think this is a good spot for him as an underdog. If the lines are switched, I'm going Max Griffin, but I like him here. The line's even tightened up now. Trent just got the most updated line, -112, -118, Max Griffin. I still like Chiesa here. I just think that grinder style is going to eventually take over, and he's a big, strong dude that can get it done, but Max Griffin get it done too. This is a real coin flip fight, and I'm gonna go plus money. I'm not gonna like run to the fucking my phone or the window to bet this, but I like Michael Chiesa. Christian?
Yeah, I see Jeannie said that Max looked great in his workout. Reflexes looked awesome. So did Mike Tyson in his last workout, and we all saw that.
First off, if you know what you're looking for, Mike Tyson did not look good. They showed a 5-second clip of a quick burst. 20 minutes of him sitting there going, all right, I'll do another one in a minute. Hang on a second. Like, that dude can't maintain shit. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think Max Griffin's going to be able to either. This dude has been slowing down a lot. He's always been kind of a jack of all trades, good at everything, great at nothing. I mean, are just decent at everything, really. But zero power, decision machine.
Yeah.
And, I think when you see Chiesa, the fights he loses, they're against some real offensive juggernauts, just some powerhouses in there that can steamroll him. I think that he's just going to be able to win more minutes. I think if it gets to the ground, he's going to completely control the situation. Obviously, his striking is so ugly. I can't believe he's like a high-level MMA fighter with that striking, but hardly throws it. So I just think he'll be able to control it on the ground. He does do well down there. I don't think that Max Griffin in his old age. I almost dressed up as Michael Chiesa for this. I didn't have time though.
I was going to say, you look like Michael. I was going to say, are you picking Michael Chiesa because you look like him?
Definitely.
Or,
yes. Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right. There you go. That's it. All right, Chris. Timbo, what do you got, bub?
Don't you ever talk about my mom.
Don't you ever talk about my fucking mom.
Don't you talk about my mom.
Bro, his excuse after that was he's Italian. He's like, people forget I'm Italian. That's why I said, don't forget he's Italian.
I'm going with Chiesa here, I guess. Yeah. Max Payne, best nickname in the game. But
good nickname.
With that said,
great game, video game, by the way.
For sure, old school.
Yeah.
He is a decision fucking machine and doesn't throw much volume. Granted, Chiesa's striking is so bad. I think if he gets us to the ground, he can keep Michael Chiesa. He can keep Max down for probably as long as he wants to. So probably do some fence pushing, very low volume fight, probably decision win, maybe split. I think it will be close, but ultimately I think Chiesa just utilizes his grappling and kind of neutralizes Max in this one. So give me Chiesa as well. We're all three on board with that.
Yeah, I like your play on the split decision. That's something I might play come Saturday because Chiesa will push him against the cage, and Max accepts his positions. He likes being against the cage. He exploded Ramiz Brahimaj's fucking ear on the cage. He likes that clinch, but that's how you're going to get taken down against Chiesa. Chiesa doesn't have this great double in the middle of the octagon, like quick as fuck. He's a guy that's going to the body lock you up, take you down off the cage, and he's going to play right into Max's hands there, or Max is going to play right into Chiesa's hands. Chiesa, though, also, I wouldn't say his takedowns are great by any means. He's a good wrestler, but he's really good on top. Like when he gets on top, he is sticky and he's heavy and he is strong. Him on bottom, we saw that against Sean Brady, not so much, but him on top is a problem. And Lazy Bet has a great point. Hopefully Mike wins. UFC finally going back to Seattle this year. And that's like Mike's from Seattle. That'd be great. He has a quick turnaround for Chiesa. Chiesa doesn't really seem to turn around on that much. And then Mike looks like Rock'em Sock'em boxers do sniffer than BP after a big fight. All right, Mitchell sucker. And then Chiesa via the Mudda's meatballs. He's gonna Mudda meatball. All right, he's Italian. Next up, Cody Durden plus 130 versus Joshua Van minus 155. One of the harder fights for me to pick because I'm a big Joshua Van fan. I'm a fan of the Van, man. Cody Durden just has that fucking grinder on him. Christian, will you quit commenting that, bro? This match is only plus 400. Woof, great breakdown, Christian. I mean, people see that it's you, bro. Joshua Van, again, good striker. I think Cody Durden could get hurt on the feet. You know, his striking is getting better, but at plus money with his grinding style. And Joshua Van has never fought that in the UFC yet. And Joshua Van is a fight IQ is not that great. He's still very young. I'm going to go to Cody Durden. I've never picked against Joshua Van. He's usually kind of a slime ball parlay piece for me. I like him at this low number at minus 155, but man, I don't know. Cody Durden has a lot of vulnerability. He can get hit. He can get submitted. He's not like impervious, but you look at his last match Snell fight. He needed that win. He took it on short notice. A guy that he had trained with that he had not done so good in training with, and he rocked Matthew Snell, which everyone does, and submitted him and fucking retired him. Homeboy retired. So I like Cody Durden here. I think he's fighting a groove. He's fighting often. He's in his kind of own zone and wavelength, and with that wrestling plus the plus money, I like him by decision. Maybe a submission win later, second or third round. We'll see how the fight goes. I'm going to play that, but give me Cody Durden off the rip. Timbo, what do you got?
I'm surprised. I know you're big on Josh Van. I didn't expect you to go Durden here. I'm going Durden as well. I think his grappling and that grinding mentality you had mentioned can get him through this. A sub is always there for him, and if not the sub, then I think he can control him. Van's got excellent striking, but classic, I think, wrestler versus striker in this one, and I'm going with the grappler. So, yeah, give me Durden as well. Love the plus money.
I didn't wow you. Sorry, Timbo. Great breakdown, but Cody Durden by sub. Just by sub, not even around. It's plus 550 right now, DK. Ooh. All right, Christian, what do you got? You going to take the Van, man, or what, man?
Man, that's a grade. Both those breakdowns A grade. Bryan, I think you went to A plus grade when you said impervious, though. I was like, ooh, that had me convinced. I was actually not even on the fence with this one. Everything you guys were saying, I was like, yep. It's what I've got written down here pretty much. The only thing that makes me nervous about Durden in this one is he keeps standing and throwing more and more and more, and he doesn't throw any straight punches. It's just these huge winging overhands. So he leaves himself open to a clean striker like Van. I don't know if that's an opponent he's been facing or it's just, like everybody does eventually seem to fall in love with their hands. I'm going to trust the historical numbers, though, and I'm going to believe that Durden's going to attempt like a takedown or two around. I think if he can just keep that pace, he's going to be able to keep Van off of him. Van starts too slow, and he loses his steam at the end of the fight. So I think that leaves a big window for a cardio machine like Durden to maybe get the finish in those times where Van's slow, but if not, definitely win the round. So I like Durden as well. Yeah. I didn't even know he was a dog. I didn't even look at the odds.
Yeah, plus 130. Lazy bet is a sharp. Don't let the automatic sliding door hit you in the ass. We're riding with Joshua Caravan. Lazy bets on the Joshua. Listen, I think Joshua Van, if he was a little bit more seasoned and had fit, because he could hurt Durden on the feet. Durden's been hurt on the feet, but Durden recovers. And Joshua Van, I've seen just not the most potent finisher and kind of fights dumb. I mean, he got knocked out by Charles Johnson because he fought dumb. And you're right. Cody Durden likes to slang him and bang him with no straight punches. He does that obviously because he's getting more comfortable in fighting in stand up. But I think it opens guys up for him to take him down as well. Like, all right, we're slanging now, but then he's going to shoot a double. But that could be dangerous against a guy like Joshua Van, so you got to be careful. But yeah, we're all in the underdog, Cody Durden. Very interesting. I can see us fighting that out for the dog lock of the night. All right, next up, Chris Weidman, minus 118 versus Eryk Yaboy Anders, minus 102. This line is moving. Before I do my pick, you two sons of bitches, be nice. Be nice to Chris Weidman.
Hey, we were nice last time.
You were not.
I was nice. I love Chris Weidman.
You were nice. You were nice. Christian is not a nice person. They're fighting at 195. As everyone knows, they were supposed to fight 2 weeks ago, a week ago, whatever it was. Anders pulled out because he had a bellyache. Completely cowered out, had a bellyache, and now they're rebooking at 195. Weidman looks like he's interested. He looks motivated. He was bummed out when he lost that fight the day of. So that made me think I'm switching to Chris Weidman. I was on your boy, but I'm switching to Chris Weidman here. I think Anders is a little bit slow. I think he has more things going on than just a tummy ache. So I think there's some things there, and he was surprised probably they rebooked it. But listen, Chris Weidman's this guy gets paid a lot of money to fight, so that $250K that he gets paid to fight is still in the books. So the UFC's like, we got to get this guy a fight. I don't care when. I don't think Honors wants to be there. Give me Chris Weidman here, baby. Don't know how he gets it done. Probably decision. Don't see it finish unless old school Chris Weidman comes out, takes you down and submits you. Don't see that happening with those legs he's got. Give me Chris Weidman. Christian, be fucking nice. Your turn.
This absolute bum ass, quitter ass, fucking fraud, Eryk Anders. Cannot believe this guy pulling out of this last fight.
Yeah,
he's talking about I'm in the best shape ever. I've been partying my whole life, and now that I got everything together, you're going to see the best version of me. Well, it sounds like you relapsed or something, brother.
Yeah, brother. He dropped a brother on him.
Woo! Because that's man, that's fucking sketchy. You're talking about how improved you are and you're doing all these things different. Well, you're doing something wrong is what it looks like, because I don't remember you pulling out of fights like this. So I can't trust him anymore. So I'm going to go with one of the best fighters of all time, one of my personal favorites, Chris Weidman.
There he is.
Captain America, Mr. America, whatever you want to call him. What a great guy, a great training partner. Inspires everybody in the gym from New York to South Carolina. Give me the legend, Chris Weidman.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what we do around here. We talk nice about Chris. Look at my guy, Genie. My guy, fading Chris. Sorry, man. I don't care how iconic you are. Some of the injuries, age got you not the biggest fan of Anders, but give me Anders winning within the distance. So that's a guy that knows how to break it down. That's a guy who has some balls, not Christian doing this fake bullshit. That's a guy with some balls right there. I'm just kidding. Timbo, go ahead.
My stance hasn't switched on this. I love Chris Weidman. I appreciate and respect everything he does. That's still my boy.
Still my boy.
I'm with Genie on this one. He's getting finished with inside the distance. I mean, his last couple you it's just I haven't seen it. And, he's survived his last 2 fights, I believe.
He got leg kicked up by Tavares and then the eye poke scandal against Silva.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought he was winning the Silva fight besides the eye pokes. But no, the comment on the screen is, I'm surprised CC didn't sleep with the fishes after a longer Weidman slender last time.
That's what I thought. Did you get a couple
knock on your doors? Christian, somebody knock on your doors.
I just
car broke down. Come talk to us.
I went out and had some gabagool and I had to change the tune,
There you go. All right. Next up, we got a real good fight. I'm looking forward to Randy Red Boy Brown plus 190 versus Bryan Battle minus 230 for Bryan Battle. So if you watch the Anakin Floyd, I put 2K in Bryan Battle and I'm pulling out this guy. Okay, I'm pulling out this guy. I got those green hammers tonight. Okay, I got those. First and foremost, Bryan Battle's slime ball parlay candidate number 1. I think he gets it done here. I think Randy Brown is very slick on the feet. He's very crafty, but got a little bit of a chin issue, has no power, and I think Bryan Battle is getting better every time he steps in there. He steps in the fire, doesn't give a fuck. I think Kevin Jusay, who Bryan Battle beat last time, is a better fighter, tougher out than Randy Brown. I think Randy Brown has all the skills in the world. He's not the youngest guy in the world either. But again, I think he's going to run into some trouble with Bryan Battle. So it is Bryan Battle slime ball parlay and the green hammer. I got 2 of them. The first one is, because I just feel this down on my fucking balls, right? Bryan Battle to win by KO plus 250. Battle to win by KO plus 250. That's green hammer number 1. And I might as well go ahead and give you the green hand number 2 while we're not even there. Now wait. But you're going to see this bitch out again. Slime ball parlay. Bryan Battle by knockout. Bryan Battle to fucking win the battle. And let's go. And Kieran shows up here. What up, broskies? What up, Kieran? All right, Timbo, what do you got? You like Rude Boy or like Bryan Battle?
Battle has looked good. I got to give him that. Rude Boy just got so much fucking potential and just fights so shitty. And he's done it so often where I'm like, okay, maybe this guy's just not who I think he is. But damn, if he doesn't have like creative striking, he's obviously jacked up, athletic. I mean, he fights smart, I guess, but
yeah,
I don't think you can be tentative and hesitant like he is against Bryan Battle. He'll make you pay for it. That number on Randy Brown is real nice, dude. And he's
take it, bro.
This is a tough one. Nah, I'm not going to because I think Battle's legit, man. He's a real deal.
If you would have taken that, I would have played a nice little something for you.
Do you want to make a bet?
You want that?
I don't want to bet this because I'm going.
No, it wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be that.
Oh,
something you've been asking for.
We need more dogs.
Yeah.
You dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats.
We need more dogs.
Nah, I wish I could, but I'm with you on this one. I'm going with Bryan Battle as well.
Bryan Battle it is.
Yeah, give me the Battle Kid.
Christian?
Bryan Battle has been fun to watch. His rise from overweight Chick-fil-A assistant manager to just villain in Paris that last time out.
Ooh, ripped the Frenchies up, didn't he?
Oh, he torched him.
Ripped him up, didn't he?
It's the only season of Tough I ever watched, too. So it was I've kind of liked him the whole time. He was an underdog on that show. You never thought he would win. So watching, I'm sure they portrayed him like that. I don't know what they actually thought behind the scenes, but it was really cool watching him beat those guys like Petrosky and stuff that looked like they were just 5-star recruits or whatever going in there.
Sure.
This fight will be fun. We haven't really talked about some of the fun or not fun parts of these fights, but this one should be a banger. Battle just brings it now. He is so exciting. He's just willing to throw down. A couple of people have said it, I think, or you guys said it. Maybe it was in the chat, but I think this is going to be close. I don't understand this line at all. I listened to you on Florian, and I was like, he really likes Battle here. I kind of like Root Boy.
So I was surprised. Are you taking Root Boy?
I was surprised with your conviction there, but man, if he gets into a rhythm, I don't think Battle's going to be able to handle it. I think Battle relies on chaos and just constant pressure. And I think if Rude Boy gets in that good striking and is moving well, that I think he can outpoint him. I don't know if he can knock him out, but I definitely think he's going to have the cleaner looking shots. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with Rude Boy.
Rude Boy.
Not a bad pick.
No, I mean, listen, I think the line is a little wide as well. I think the recency bias on Battle, he's obviously performed really well recently, cut fucking France a new one. I will say this, I usually never really play this game. I never usually see the photos of media day and everyone's like, oh, he's got staff or whatever. But Bryan Battle was on embedded and he had a huge Band-Aid over his eye and then a lump right here. So clearly he got cut in training or whatever. I don't think it's going to play that big of a difference because if you get cut in a fight, it's whatever. If they stop the fight, that's going to suck. But that just has me a little worried. But yeah, the line's a little wide. Kenny was very bullish. Not bullish, but he thought the same thing. He thought it was going to be a close fight. He picked Randy Brown. I'm just convicted on Bryan Battle. I think I like what I see, and I just think the dude wants it more. I think Randy Brown could have a good first round. I think if you want to play that point spread on Randy Brown, I think that's probably great. But Randy does slow down sometimes. I think he's going to get roughed up in that second and third. Bryan Battle's cardio is elite. And you know what I mean? When you dye your hair blonde, you're in the system, bro. You're in Brian Petrie's system. So he's getting bet. Okay. Next up, now we're getting to the meat potatoes. We're getting to the old meat potatoes.
Is there not one chick fight on this card?
Not one lady fight. I bet you're so happy about that, aren't you? Listen, if they're going to throw a chick fight on this, fucking throw Big Norm in there. Let's see what she's got working with her. Randy Brown, +3.5, -105. Can't find a better number than that. That's a great point spread number right there. Despite the vin and vinegar of the welterweight frame, Bryan Battle still hits with impact of 300-pound Chick-fil-A body, 100%. Yeah, that dude's still cracking that 300-pound Chick-fil-A body, dude. I tell you, when I was training, no one wants to hear about it, but I was probably 265, 270, not a small person at all. And I was sparring a guy who was probably 6'6" and 325 or whatever, and he was coming down 400. And I think he ended up getting down to 200 by the end of his journey. I don't keep in contact with him anymore, but he wasn't the best, whatever. But we're going at it, dude. He was a cop too, by the way, and he just fucking I was lazy in sparring. He landed an overhand right on me, dude, and I felt all 500 pounds of that, dude. That power don't leave you. All right, next up, meat and potatoes here. Movsar Evloev. I don't know. It's 4 syllables. John said it really good over the podcast. -250 versus Aljamain Sterling, +205. Fight was supposed to happen, I think, in August, maybe, and they rebooked it. Aljo got hurt. Man, I tell you what, I'm convicted on Evloev here. I like Aljo. I don't know Aljo personally. I know he's a Weidman guy. Cody, who I'm good friends with, who produces the show on Annika Florian, he used to produce Aljo's show. They're very good friends. Aljo apparently is a good dude, but I don't know him personally, so I have no allegiance to him, and I just pick fights blindly based on skill. And I think Aljo is running into a guy at 145 pounds that is better than him at what Aljo does. I think Aljo's really good at taking your back, but I don't think his wrestling is top notch. I think his takedowns or takedown defense is a little weak because he's usually not on the thing. Peter Yan, who I know did a lot of those strip takedowns, he took him down like 6 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Movsar Evloev is a stud wrestler who's getting better on the feet. This guy should probably be fighting for a title if he just fought more, right? He's just not. And if he had maybe a personality, that would help as well. But I just see him taking Aljo down and just dominating Aljo everywhere. I think this could be a surprise for some people who really think Aljo is like the best grappler because what we saw in the Cater fight. I think Aljo's stand-up is very unique. It's awkward. There's no power there, but it can frustrate you. But Evloev is not a striker. I don't think he's going to give a shit about that. I think he's going to walk through the slap kicks and those punches, and he's going to grapple Aljo up. I don't see a finish here. I see Evloev winning a decision, probably clean sweep, 30-27, maybe a 10-8 there in somewhere with which is the dominating grappling, even though they don't give those that much with dominating grappling anymore. You got to kind of hurt a guy, and maybe he will. But yeah, I'll be shocked if Aljo wins, and I'll be even more shocked if it's a really close fight. I just think he's bested everywhere in this spot. Timbo, what do you got?
Wholeheartedly agree.
Ooh, I like that.
If I could just regurgitate what you just said and put it on my mouth, I would.
Tell you, we got some really good words in that. Regurgitate, impervious, Christian. Open a fucking dictionary once in a while, bro. Get some words out. Come on, man.
And Jeannie's on it as well. A lot of folks are on it. I mean,
Chad agrees.
By decision. And I don't see it being very close. You know, look at the Corey Sandhagen. Oh no, he took out Corey Sandhagen. He got his back and choked him out. Yeah,
Aljo took out Sandhagen. Yeah. Quick. Yeah.
Don't see that happen to Evloev though. So I like him by decision. I'll definitely play that. And I think Sterling's really good, but as you said, he's just met his match in this one. So, riding with Aljo Train. Okay.
Trenny with Aljo.
Wow. And it's not beyond the possibility of happening.
No, 100%. And that's what scares me is I think this is a closer fight on paper, really. But for whatever reason, my brain's telling me it's not a close fight. And the line's right. You know what I mean? I'm wrong every fucking day of the week. But, it's interesting to me. Christian, what do you got?
Yeah, Timbo, I'm going to piggyback on that. No pun intended, or actually pun intended. But yeah, I have in my notes even Aljamain's only got one clear way to win, and that's he's got to get his back. I mean, that's not in all of his fights, but this fight and some other ones, that's like his only win condition is get to the back. I don't know how he's going to get there. I mean, I don't know how he got there on Sandhagen, but he did. Yeah. I just think if it's a striking fight, I think Evloev's got him pretty easily here. I do think he's a decent striker. Obviously, neither of them are great, but Aljo is very sloppy. And a wrestler the quality of Evloev, I think that's going to lead to some really bad positions. And Aljo's not great defensively, much better offensively. Evloev also has some defensive holes. I mean, when that guy gets put in guillotines, like our boy Grundy did to him. Grundy. And somebody else, I mean, a few people have had him just deep in guillotines, and he's got that giraffe neck that looks like you can cinch it in there pretty good.
Yeah.
But he did get out of it. I mean, that's all that really matters. He's got great gas tank, good scrambling, good submission escapes and defense. I mean, if he can get out of those deep guillotines. So I'm going to go with him. I think he's got it all day. This is what I would think is a parlay piece, not minus 650 and Nzechukwu. But I think I'm on the same page as you guys.
Hey, asshole. I said that if you're doing a big parlay. Movsar has new hair. Have you guys seen his hair? He looks like fucking Zac Efron in High School Musical, Troy Bolton. What are you doing, bro? Like, you're a fucking Russian killer. He's down in Florida going, oh, look, that 14-year-old's got cool hair. Actually, 14-year-olds, they wear their hair like this now. You ever seen these guys? Like, their hair's like straight down and it's all curly. And it's like,
I see it. Yeah.
Like, all the streamers do that. Like, they all got the fucking.
Call it a Caesar. But they used to get Caesar, but now it has a different.
It's longer and curlier. Yeah, it's farther and longer and curlier, and a lot of them are bald. Like, I've seen TikToks where the guys are like, "Check this out," and they'll pull their flap up, and their hairline starts like way back here. That's the hairstyle of Rock. It's like the Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Yeah, the broccoli cut. Yeah, they Jake Paul and Logan kind of rocked that a little bit, and they're both going fucking completely bald.
Yeah, Jake's got nothing left.
Yeah, what was your pick though? Is it Evloev or is it Aljo? Christian.
It's Evloev. Easy. Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah.
Evloev, yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Just to make sure.
He's like, I don't know if I mortal lock him just because, I mean, Alja does have like championship pedigree and he's surprised us many times over.
100%.
So, I might put him in like a 2-spot or a 3-legger or something like that.
Sure. Thing about Alja too, as I hear, is Reyes said this. I've talked to Matt Fervolo about this, not recently, but when T-Boss had the hair in TLC, he people go in and they expect to spar Aljo, just stand up, and they're like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. This guy has no. He's so funky and awkward that you can't get a beat on him. It's unique, and again, Evloev not a striker, so that's why I'm not worried about it. That's why I think he's gonna cut all that nonsense out. Fuck footwork. I'm going forward. I'm gonna throw a couple right hands. I'm gonna take you down. Because again, I think defensively grappling isn't the best. But he's been out in Vegas working Merab, and Merab is a fucking machine. But Merab isn't as big as Evloev, so we'll see. All right, next up we got Vicente Luque plus 130 versus Themba Gorimbo minus 162. Gorimbo, interesting story. He's all over the embeddeds. I think they're really trying to push this kid. Obviously, this was supposed to be Nick Diaz, but this is the second time Nick Diaz pulled this fight. The first time we don't know why. The second time there's a video of Nick Diaz trying to light grass on fire or something, and it looked very disturbing. It looked like he was completely out of it. So I think UFC or someone intervened and said, we got to get this guy some help. Also, whenever I see videos of him or pictures of him selling like signed gloves or wherever, he looks so impossibly skinny. Like it doesn't even look like he's in shape. It just looks like he's so skinny, like gross, right? So anyway, Gorimbo stepping up. And again, this is a guy that The Rock bought the house for. I believe he left that gym now. I'm not sure if he's even in Florida. I'm not really sure, but he's getting better as he goes. But he's running into a guy, Luque, who might be washed, right? But he's only 33, and he's got some real skill to him, right? I think Gorimbo is grappling a lot in his last couple fights, the last couple wins. And that's obviously it could be a key to victory over here against Vicente Luque. But Luque, though, will take your fucking neck. His dart stroke is sick. He's got a lot of people with that. His boxing is really clean as well. If Gorimbo comes out fast, he could catch Luque quick and be like, just put it on him. And a young fighter could do that, getting a big opportunity. Luque is still ranked 14th. Gorimbo's not. But I just like Luque here at this plus money. I think he's cleaner on the feet. I'm a little worried about the fact that he's shot worn. But also when it goes to the ground, I don't know if Gorimbo, who has been submitted before, really has a submission defense to deal with Vicente Luque, who is nasty on the ground when he gets a hold of your neck. I mean, the guy's, and he's a vet. He's been in there with everybody. So I'd be surprised if Gorimbo wins this one. Maybe not surprised, but I like Luque either by knockout or finish. I might double chance that as well. I'm going to go chase that number while I kick it to Christian. Christian, who you like in this spot?
Well, I like Luque, but I liked him more against Nick Diaz, probably the worst fighter on the active roster. That guy he's been so terrible for so long. I couldn't even believe they were lining him up for a fight against somebody that's even like has half of a pulse. He looked so bad his last time out.
Let me interject you real quick. Luque by double chance, KO or submissions plus 250 on DraftKings. That's my play. All right, Christian, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. That's going to be my play too. I have no idea how this line comes from. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But I've never seen anything in Gorimbo that impresses me. All I can remember was his debut. He got choked out by AJ Fletcher, the Ghost. Yeah. And since then, it's like, I mean, I probably don't watch. Those are those cards I'm skipping that he's on. But everything I see from him, I'm just not impressed. I don't think he's good. I think they're setting him up because of that thing with The Rock. I don't think he's got any future. Luque has fought champions or at least contenders. I haven't looked at his whole. Actually, he has fought champions. Yeah. Probably a couple of them.
Bilal Muhammad, bro.
Yeah. T Wood.
Yeah. He put out Woodley after Woodley was already cooked, but still.
Yeah. So I remember that fight was one of the first shows I ever did with you guys. And I am that confident in Luque again here. I am scared about the brain bleed and like his inconsistency. You don't want to bet on somebody that's inconsistent. But I think Gorimbo is completely outmatched here. He outclasses bums. Vicente Luque is no bum. That guy can actually fight. Look, if he gets taken down, he's got that good Darcy Anaconda or whatever. They can stop on the way down, guillotine and whatever. If he does get down and get out of it, I think he's better on the ground. I think he's better on the feet. He's younger. He's more proven. He's been in there with actual fighters. I think it's Luque all day.
Luque all day. Themba did his camp at Extreme Couture for this fight. So he left Florida, went to Vegas. Not sure if it's permanent move, as Trent says. And then Jeannie says, I implore chat and Pick'em team to go check out Gilbert Burns and Machado show for some good insight. A lot of ATT fighters here in Gilbert and Luque's corner this weekend. Gilbert doesn't seem too confident.
Show me the money.
Show Me the Money is the show. I did watch one episode, I believe, when Jason Eryk was on it and Matty Betts was on it. Maybe is he a permanent fixture of that show? Isn't it?
Is Jeannie the press secretary?
I don't know. Isn't it Gilbert, Moicano, and Matty Betts? Is that the three?
I don't know who the third guy is. I know it's Gilbert and Moicano.
Yeah, Matty Betts. So Matty Betts, if you guys don't know, I've actually seen a few comments on my channel going, dude, check out Matty Betts. I know Matty, don't know him personally. We've exchanged pleasantries. Great guy. People are like, hey, dude, he hits these crazy parlays and stuff like that. The difference between Matty Betts and me is when I want to throw just a little bit of money on a fighter, I go $25. My units are $100. If I'm not that confident, I go, $25 here. Cool, right? Matty Betts throws like 2,500, right? The guy's a big game player. He's got a ton of money. He's constantly doing 100K parlays and stuff, which is fantastic, right? But he's also putting in a lot of money. Sure, you could throw like 10, $15 on that, but you're not getting the return that Matty Betts is because he's putting up a lot of fucking money for these parlays. But, that's his game. That's what he does. He wins some, he loses some. But, yeah, I mean, if that's a great show, if that's a good show, that's great. I saw Jason and Eryk on that one time, and Maddie and I have again exchanged pleasantries. He seems like a really good dude.
Well, if they're not sponsoring us, let's stop talking about him. All right, then.
Hey, bro, out, right? Just give it the love, though, Matty Betts. I believe Matty Betts. There's a manager. There's this guy Hayden who I don't really know, and then someone else. I believe they own Home a Fight, which is Twitter channel or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know the situation or whatever. I know they got my arch nemesis working for them, so I kind of turn my blinders on for that. But Matty Betts is a cool guy. All right, we all picked Luque or Timbo. Have you gone yet? I'm sorry.
Quick question.
Yeah,
Christian, you mentioned a brain bleed. Did something happen? What happened?
Yeah, I think I can't. Let me look and see what fight it was after.
He did have a brain bleed. I believe it was after the Jeff.
After
Neal
Jeff
fight.
Neal, after Jeff Neal, he had like some aneurysm or brain bleed, and then he looked really good
against RDA.
Really good against RDA.
Was it your RDA? Okay.
And something weird happened, which I didn't even realize was his last fight. I guess I'm kind of just sweeping it under the rug and thinking it was a one-off, and maybe he was in his own head, but. Well, I guess the brain bleed is in his own head. But,
literally, yeah.
Well, listen, bro. I mean, again, I don't want to keep talking about myself because I'm not a professional fighter. But 2 years after my seizure, I went back to sparring, and I was like, no headgear, sometimes no mouth guard. I didn't give a fuck, right? I was kind of a dog in there. I was like, I spent $300 on a headgear. I had a fun custom mouth guard made, and I was timid as fuck, right? And I'm sparring guys who are not the level of Luque. So, or Luke, who Luque's fighting. So that has to weigh on his mind a little bit. That's a scary fucking thing. You see that more with boxers because boxers take 400 fucking punches a fight. MMA, it's scary that it's happened to you. So yeah, that is something that maybe definitely is sitting on his head, sitting on his brain a little bit. You know what I mean? So whoever pointed that out, was that you, Christian, that pointed that on your breakdown?
Yeah.
A+, brother. A+. I'm so sorry, Timbo. We keep getting railroaded. Have you picked this fight? I don't have you down.
No, I have not.
Yet. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Timbo. Floor's yours.
I'm a little timid on Luque because he did absolutely quit against Buckley, and it was hard to watch. Now, with that said, Buckley, as we've seen, knocking out Wonder Boy, knocking out all these elite fighters, he fucking cracks. I get that. Mm-hmm. That's my only hesitation with Luque because you guys nailed everything else. He's a much more talented fighter. He's got a way better strength of schedule, way better victories. He's younger. How the fuck old is Gorimbo? I'm just hearing about this guy like over the last 2 years.
I don't know. Hold on. No.
I got their age pulled up.
He's young. He was born in 1991.
Oh, they're the same.
33.
33. Yeah, they're both the same.
Yeah, they're the same year.
Yeah.
Luque. Okay, yeah, Luque just turned. Yeah, they're like 10 months apart, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, from a talent perspective, from a skill perspective, I think Luque blows him out of the water. I'm a little timid about Luque in his last outing, but again, if the brain bleed had anything to do with it, he looked fantastic against RDA, dominated him. And that's the thing. We're talking about, okay, you just dominated RDA. The Jeff Neal fight was close, until it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, this dude was like potential title challenger not that long ago. And Gorimbo has wins over like Nico Price and got
in a Nico Price fight where he got buzzed on the feet a few times. Nico got taken down a lot, but Nico on the feet was handling business. So who we taking?
Luque. Give me Luque.
Luque. That's another underdog sweep. He said, sorry to interject, Kristen. Inject them, Kristen. Y'all still top dogs. And he says, that's why I come to pick on pods for the real shit. I used to get real touchy about like people commenting, like probably like when I first started, when people comment like, hey, this is a pretty good show. You should check out so-and-so. And I'd be like, fuck them. Check me out. You know what I mean? My ego's crazy.
Oh,
but those,
Genie, no worries. Yeah,
those are good guys. I don't know him personally. I think Matty Betts is a good guy. The guy is the gambler's gambler. I mean, the dude literally, I think he owns restaurants or something. I don't know what he does for money, but he's got a lot of it, and respected them to put it in to invest in the home of fight or whatever. They maybe need to hire better people, in my opinion. At least one guy needs to get removed. But other than that, shout out home of fight. All right, next up, I'm dying to see what Timbo picks for this fight. Anthony Smith. -270 versus Dominick Reyes, -340. The Dominator, Dom Reyes. What is it with the Executioner? What's his name? He didn't go Dominator because of the cruise.
Whatever it is, he's not it.
What is it? The Devastator. Kind of lame. So people that don't know, Dominick Reyes cost Timbo how much money?
I don't remember, but it was
a lot of money. It was probably
it was
the Blachowicz fight. That was one of my biggest.
It was. It was over five figures.
It was. Yeah. It was a lot of money that Timbo. Timbo, should I make these rice noodles for dinner? Yeah, bro. Cyrus of Irish, make the rice noodles for dinner. I got fucking
rice or noodles.
Rice or noodles all day
for me. Yeah. Anthony Smith, +280. Dominick Reyes -355. Nas OG, the first commenter on this chat. I don't know if he's still in the chat. Says I like Anthony Smithers by KO. Book it. Man, I tell you what, listen, Anthony Smith lost his best friend, who also was a jiu-jitsu coach, who traveled with him everywhere, who was in fighting interviews with him everywhere. We kind of know how Anthony Smith mental is. He's yelling at people, I'm protecting my family, right? You know, he lost his mom a couple years ago or a couple fights ago. And, you know, he's a very emotional guy. Now he lost his right-hand man, his best friend. That kind of puts a very big pause in this fight for me. I really wasn't that torn. I think Dominick Reyes is the more athletic guy. I think Anthony Smith has slowed down considerably. I don't think he's fast. I think his advantage will be on the ground, but I don't know how he gets it there. I think Dominick Reyes coming off that knockout of a Jacoby was somewhat impressive considering what Dominick Reyes has been through, right? I mean, the guy could not get a win after almost beating John Jones and fucking, went through a lot of shit, like health-wise as well. Yeah, like sepsis or some crazy shit. So I'm going to go Dom Reyes. The number's a little bit bigger for me. -340 was big. Now he's -355, which is bigger if you know math. But I like Reyes here. I'm not sliming him up. I'm not touching him in that kind of aspect. I like him by KO, which I'll chase that number now. But I got to kick it to Timbo because I know he doesn't like Dominick Reyes. What we got in this fight, brother?
He played baseball as well. You got to remember that.
Yeah.
He played baseball.
He's an athlete.
He's a fucking athlete. I love Anthony Smith. He's my wife's favorite fighter. He hasn't came out to fucking.
He needs to come out to Return of the Mac, or I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, he hasn't done it in a very long time. It pisses me off. But I think you nailed it. Dominick Reyes. Granted, just Anthony Smith's not knocking anybody out. He's got a great guillotine, as we saw against Victor Petrino. I don't see Dom shooting for a double leg. I see him keeping it on the feet, and we've seen Anthony Smith now more often than not kind of get crumbled on the feet, and I think Smith probably does. Reyes does that again to him, so I like that line there. That trend that he just put out -125 for Reyes KO.
For audio only, Dominick Reyes to win by KO, TKO, DQ -125. Not a bad number. Not a bad number right there. And lazy bet, something that I meant to bring up in my breakdown. Smith at Media Day today. I don't give a fuck about winning. Put the house on Reyes. Sorry, Timbo. He said that they were asking about his right. I wish I could remember his name. John, shout him out on the Ed Californian podcast. It was his best friend, jiu-jitsu coach. When Anthony Smith went anywhere during fight week, this guy was with them. He passed away. And Anthony Smith on the Media Day said, how you feeling? I'm going to enter this fight. He says, I don't give a fuck about winning. This is more of like a emotional exercise for me. I just need to go out there and let off some steam. I don't love hearing that from a guy that's
Yeah.
fighting, right? And if you're going to put your hard-earned money on that, I think Dominick Reyes is a really phenomenal good athlete in the cage. He's fast, he hits hard, and Anthony Smith has been put out before. So, and I don't think Anthony Smith has any threat besides, even though Dominick Reyes' chin's cooked, it's fucking well done cooked. I don't think he has a chance to knock him out. I think it has to come from submissions, which I don't know if that's going to happen. Christian, what we got, bub?
Scott Morton.
Scott Morton. Okay. Shout out Scott Morton. Sorry about your death, I guess. Sorry for your loss, Anthony Smith.
Yep. So Anthony Smith, I've always thought is an easy fighter to bet on or bet against. It's easy to read. Like how Timbo and Ashley and I knew that bum Vitor was going to easily get submitted by him.
All right.
I think everybody knew that though, right?
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Look, and that fight kind of it boils down to what I think is Anthony Smith, his experience and his fight IQ. It's really good. He's crafty. He's tricky. And although Reyes hasn't fought a lot, Reyes has been in there with a lot of really good guys. I don't think Anthony Smith's necessarily going to be outsmart him. He's definitely not going to be able to out athletic him, outpower him. He does have some submissions, but Reyes is not going to put himself in a position to get submitted. Anthony Smith's out here getting knocked out by jabs. Reyes at least is getting knocked out by big power punches that are hitting fairly clean against championship level fighters or just these behemoth men, these hyper athletes. So this is not one that Anthony Smith is going to win. Just kind of, even though they're the same age, much slower, much more shot born. I think you got to go Reyes all day here. The minus 380,
380. Where you get that number at, bro? 355.
Oh shit! Well, this was for when I printed my sheet out, which I had to do early because.
Okay, yeah, the line's moving. Trent said I went to 303. Yeah, 355. Went to 303, and Anthony Smith came out the jelly roll, and I was like, "What the fuck, bro? Why?" Yeah.
What are you doing?
Speaking of jelly roll, I see this guy everywhere. I just saw him performing on the Thanksgiving halftime show at one of those games.
He's a really good rapper.
Do you guys like this?
He was a great rapper. He
was a country singer now. Yeah.
So before he's been rapping for like 10, 15 years. He's like an underground rapper guy.
And then
he was
all of a sudden,
fantastic.
Huh.
Yeah, now he stinks. He's just some sellout country guy.
Country singer. Yeah, I watch Bustin' with the Boys. I like that show a lot from Barstool with Will and Taylor. And Jelly rolls around quite a bit. And some of the videos I watch behind the scenes, I was like, and I listen to some of his music. He's got a couple songs. He's featuring a couple songs with some big artists. And I like all kinds of music. I'm more of a hip hop guy, but I can listen to some country. I can fuck with some country. What? Nah, I don't get him. I don't get him. Whatever.
Go back and fuck with this rap. He's got some.
Yeah, I actually did. I did see something on TikTok where it was like a freestyle. He had a shaved head. He didn't have as much tattoos on his face. Still kind of fat, but not as fat. It was okay. Next up, we got Nate. Woo! Nate the Train. Look at this bicep. Look at this bicep. Nate the Chain Landwehr minus 142 versus Doho Choi plus 120. I fucking nailed that Doho Choi.
Fuck yeah.
Nailed it. Plus 120. Here's what I'm going to do, and I hate doing this. My slime ball parlays have been absolute dog shit this year. I apologize. Next year, we're going to redo some things, rethink something. Christian doesn't want me to do 3 legs, sometimes maybe 2 legs. We're going to rethink it, but I'm going to stick with the formula today for the final card. Well, the final pay-per-view I got next week. But this is going to be my second green hammer. Okay? This is also going to be my slime ball. So I'm picking Nate the Train. I love Nate the Train. I'm not going to really pick against Nate the Train because I think he's a fucking entertaining powerhouse dude who is grimy in there. I think if he had a better chin, this guy might not lose, right? That's the heart of a dog. You know what I mean? But the reality is he gets hurt quite a bit in fights. So the green ham, my slime ball parlay pick, it's going to be part of the parlay. I'm playing against myself here. It's not the best strategy in the world, but I have to do it because of the number. Nate Landwehr, slime ball parlay, that's my pick. The green hammer, which is the second green hammer, is Doho Choi by knockout in round 1 plus 650.
Oof.
If he doesn't get it in round 1, he ain't getting it. Because Nate gets clipped in round 1, he gets hurt, he gets put out. Doho Choi does have power, even though he looks like a 12-year-old fucking Korean girl. He does have fucking power. And Nate gets clipped in that round 1. He gets clipped, he gets put out. It's happened in multiple UFC fights. But it ain't going to happen throughout the fight. And Nate's going to take over. So green hammer number 2, Doho Choi by knockout round 1. After round 1, then Nate's going to take over and we catch that fucking slime ball. But either way, I had to bet against myself a little bit because I love Nate. I love what he brings, but again, that round one, you're clenching your ass cheeks a little bit. You're like, oh, this guy's gonna get caught. He's a little reckless. Sometimes he needs to get hit to get woken up. In fucking Russia, the guy was nails. The guy didn't get put down. Fought a lot of his career in Russia against some tough fucking Russian dudes, and is coming to the UFC. And now he's not the youngest guy in the world, and his chin is starting to show it a little bit, but his heart is still so fucking big. His cardio is so good, and he's really good everywhere, right? So I like Nate to win this fight. I am pretty confident, but I had to kind of hedge myself, which I don't love doing, but I did it for plus 650 Doo Ho Choi by knockout round 2. Or excuse me, round 1, not round 2. So that was the mouthful. That's what I said. Christian, what do you got, bub?
I like to train in the UFC.
I train in UFC. I still got a job, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I love Nate the Train. And this fight is, man, I think it's been said in the chat, but yeah, this fight is, it probably will win the fight tonight. I mean, both these guys are all action.
Banana fight. It's interesting.
Whew, this was a hard one for me to pick, though, so I had to kind of go with the system play right here because I know that you homers are both going to take Nate the Train, and I'm trying to win the last strap of the year. So as much as I want him to win, I think that Doo Ho Choi can hit him and hit him early. I know he's really weak to the knees, and I don't think Doo Ho Choi is really a knee guy, so I'm hoping he's going to fake. Actually, I'm hoping that Landwehr wins because he's the best. But in terms of winning this final strap of the year, I could see him hurting him early, faking that knee, and then boom, just a straight right. And Nate is really susceptible early. He seems to not be later. He's got some underrated submissions, so if he knocks him down, I think he can take him on top and hold him down. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is hard for me.
Yeah, you did it. You did it. You already did it. You said your piece.
I mean,
by the way, you throwing a punch at camera and then doing the little double leg thing, dude. You're a fucking lethal weapon, bro.
Fuck yeah, he is, dude.
I might have to fly to Colorado. I might have to fly to Colorado just to see what this guy's got. This guy's a fucking lethal weapon.
Yeah. Hold that bitch.
So you picked Doo Ho Choi, so you're completely off Nate Landwehr. You sandbagging son of a bitch. Timbo, who you got?
I'm going with Nate the Train, baby.
That's my guy.
It's more of a heart pick, though, because at the end of the day, he does get hit. He does get rocked. But he's just got that fucking dog in him. And he's better everywhere. And I don't think we've seen, like, he's had some good submissions, but it's usually because the other guy engaged the grappling, and then he just kind of, took over from there. I'd like to see him implement the grappling in this one.
Sure.
Doo Ho Choi comes out firing. There's got to be some self-reflection in Nate knowing that, hey, I get fucking rocked often. Let me go out and grapple.
Onama, what he did?
Yeah.
Standing up.
He's the fucking best, man.
He is the best.
He's action-packed.
That was fucking awesome. I was watching that highlight the other day.
I'll have to rewatch that entire fight.
Yeah, they won fight of the night too.
Yeah,
obviously should have, but let's hope Nate fights with some brain here and not so much heart, and maybe engages in the grappling a little bit, because it's a coin flip if they stand up, and that plus 650 first round KO is fucking live as hell if he does decide to go that route, which in all likelihood he will. But he's much more talented than that. But we'll see. He's going to want to put on a show. He's on the fucking main card. They're opening the main card?
Open the main card, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean.
Yeah, it's going to be. And I think Nate maybe had his wife maybe had a miscarriage recently. I think he brought that up. So he's fighting for a little bit of extra here. Doo Ho Choi also, he went away for a while, right? He had military service and he was injured. He just came back not that long ago against Bill Algeo. And before he left, though, he was getting fucking beat on. Like he was losing. And Nate, again, is nasty in the clinch. He will take you down. He'll beat you up on the ground. Like he's a nasty fucker in there. And he has that dog again, but he can be clipped. You know what I mean? That's what you got to win. And Doo Ho Choi does have some really good boxing. So Timbo and I are Nate. We're on the good team. Christian's on Doo Ho Choi, but I do have a little bit of a leverage play there. And Nate the Train is more African-American than people think. Yeah. It's a great line. Yeah, dude, when I first started researching Nate the Train years ago, and obviously I saw pictures of him, but I was watching these like videos of interview, and he'd be like, "Yo, man, Nate, I can't do it." I mean, he sounds like a black dude. Like he does. Like he is in the heart of Tennessee, right there where 3-6 Mafia is from. And it's like, this dude is right there, man. I love it. And then maybe BPCC versus in the undercard versus the high anticipated Anik versus Anik. As long as we do open weight, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, listen.
I was like, we're about 100 pounds difference, but
What do you weigh right now?
Just below 170.
Okay, so yeah, I got about 110, 112 pounds on you. Yeah, so yeah, we have to be open weight.
I got that pre-diabetes, so I've been losing weight pretty quickly.
Everyone has pre-diabetes. Kevin James has the really good stand-up where his doctor goes, you're pre-diabetic. Yeah, pre-diabetic. Okay, so do I have diabetes? No. Okay, so I can get diabetes? Yes. Okay. Well, do you have diabetes? No. Can you get diabetes? Yes. Well, so then we're both pre-diabetic. What the fuck are you trying to say? What can I eat? All right, next up. Bryce Mitchell, this guy's a fucking interesting cat. -625 versus Kron Gracie, +490. Oh, boys. This fight is interesting as fuck because Kron Gracie he's talented as all get out. He's tough, but he has no real skills besides the ground. And Kenny broke this down great about how his jiu-jitsu is good at just when people are flowing with them, it's unreal. But when you put a hard stop on that, like you can in MMA with punches and get-ups and whatever, it's not as good as it was when it's just pure jiu-jitsu. And Bryce Mitchell's an interesting dude. He's traveled a little bit, but I think it's been hindered that he is just staying in Arkansas. Like his main training partner coach is AJ Cunningham. He fought in the UFC. He's trash. I just don't like the direction. I saw him shadow boxing. I saw him hitting mitts. It looks terrible. It doesn't really need to be look good against a guy like Kron Gracie, but it looks bad. And then on top of that, Bryce Mitchell wants to take everyone down and submit him. I like to see him do that. I want to see him test his jiu-jitsu against Kron Gracie, even though I don't think it's going to happen. Kron got embarrassed by Charles Jourdain. He admitted that. He says, my worst fight, but I didn't get finished, so fuck it. I'm coming back. I like Kron Gracie. I'm taking Kron Gracie at this big underdog money. I can't play Bryce Mitchell off this big money at -675. We were talking about Luque with the brain bleed. Bryce Mitchell got one viciously knocked out.
Most vicious knockout I've ever seen.
I mean,
easily. He
was dead for a couple seconds, right? And that's good. I know he's fighting Kron Gracie. UFC's giving him a little bit of a layup here. But still, you get hit, you get timid, you get a little gun shy when you're mixing it up in there. And Kron doesn't have any power or anything like that. But I really want to see how Bryce reacts to getting hit. Maybe he shoots a takedown that he doesn't want to be on the feet, and he wants to take him down. I know the game plan should be stay on the feet with Kron Gracie. And again, you only can tell so much by shadow boxing and mitts. But I saw Bryce do both this week on Embedded and Instagram. It looks terrible, right? Not saying it looks great ever, but it looks exceptionally bad. So if you went all camp training stand-up and this is what you're showing up with, oof, right? So give me Kron at this huge fucking number. I can't pass that up. Kron Gracie +575 currently, so he's even gone up. Bryce Mitchell -850 according to Trindaddy. Yeah, give me Kron Gracie. That's too big of a number. I don't care if I lose money on this. I'll put $25 on it. I don't give a fuck. All right, Christian. CC, you're the jiu-jitsu guy. What do you got, bub?
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I mean, Kron Gracie, that's what he is. That's just he's a guy. He's not really an MMA guy. I mean, when he debuted, he had some kicks and some punches that looked nice. Then he went back to his dad or his uncle, and they said, no, son. No, wait, that's the Asian actor.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro? Come on, bro.
I just finished watching Shogun, so the accent stuck in my head.
Okay.
Christian son. So yeah, and then now he's back to get some coaching from his dad or his uncle or whatever, and then he's out laying on his back and butt scooting in his last fight. It's a fucking jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah,
and
it was.
He's
a
not
weird
an MMA fighter. Yeah,
no.
And I mean, Bryce Mitchell's gonna have no problem dealing with a BJJ guy in an MMA fight. His striking might be ugly, but at least he strikes. I mean, if this is no hot take, a -900 gonna beat, literally a butt scooter. This comes from an esteemed white belt.
Yeah.
And so I know that this jiu-jitsu game will not hold up against an MMA fighter of Bryce Mitchell's caliber. So it's Bryce all day. Not a hot take. It's easy. The line says it. But I mean, you probably don't even get a good line on Kron Gracie by submission. But shit, take Bryce Mitchell by submission. That's probably even more likely.
And I don't want to ignore Lazy Bed, who is putting straight fire in the chat.
He's going crazy in the chat.
If you don't know, both these guys are flat earthers. The Flat Earther Bowl winner gets a 6-month supply of ivermectin for cold and flu season. And this one right here is just, I mean, I don't know how you don't this isn't pre-written. Both these men were extremely pleased to have low gloves back. They didn't like the slight curve of the new ones. I mean, that is fucking A+. Kron Gracie to win by submission plus 1,200, Christian.
Oh, God damn.
So you were off. Christian, try to do an Asian accent. Can I play you Kenny Florian's, or you try to do a Brazilian, but it went Asian? Can I play you what Kenny Florian sent me about the points?
Is it his Brazilian accent?
That Bryan is still in the lead, man, but maybe I'm gonna come back, man. I feeling good about my picks this week, and who knows, man? Maybe next couple of weeks I get you lucky, man. Good luck, everybody.
Is that Kenny?
That's Kenny. Kenny said that. It was a couple weeks ago when I think I hit like a real big bet, and Kenny was like a little whatever, and he sent that to the group text because it's so good, dude. Like if you listen to Pantoja, he sounds exactly like Pantoja. It's funny as fuck. All right, Timbo, gotta know where you're going. You going Gracie? You going Bryce Mitch?
I mean, this line is fucking absurd. I don't think it's
wild.
I mean, God, this is. I kind of got to play Battleship with you right here and rock with Gracie, because if he wins, then me and Christian are fucked.
Boy's taking it again.
I'm going to go. I'm going with Kron here as well.
Okay.
I know the butt scooting in his last fight, that was pathetic, but in previous fights, I've seen him have that dog in him, and him actually try to stand and bang in a couple fights. And Bryce Mitchell can't strike his way out of a plastic bag. He fought Topuria, right, and got fucking murdered.
Yeah, I was there live. He got bullied. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and by no means am I making a.
No, I mean, Topuria.
That was his flu game, right? He's like,
he was sick or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
When they locked up, Topuria tossed him on his fucking head like he was a child.
Yeah.
Flu or not, bro, you're getting ragdolled, brother.
And obviously coming off the detonation from Josh Emmett. Yeah, I mean, this is a Gracie at the end of the day, man. Like,
sure,
that last name still carries weight for me, and yeah, give me Kron here. I think that line is a little bit too fucking crazy, if you ask me.
If this line wasn't as crazy, I'd be on Bryce Mitchell, because I think Kron is not a mixed martial artist. But I mean, 575 and 1,200 for submission, golly. Bryce Mitchell's not the smartest guy in the world. He went on his media day saying seatbelts. I don't wear seatbelts because what if I got to jump out of the car? Like, this guy is an interesting cat. Yeah, I mean, and he's bringing up Barboza versus Bryce. Bryce dropped Barboza with a nice left hand.
Oh, yeah.
But then he just laid on top of him after that. But you watch Bryce. But that was when Bryce was actually traveling the world. Now he's married with a kid. He stayed in Arkansas. We got AJ Cunningham holding your pads. I just don't like that. All right, next up, heavyweight. You got Ciryl Gane minus 385 is what I have, versus Alexander Volkov plus 275. I got to be honest with you guys. Okay. I always am. I'm an honest guy. I don't care about this fight for some reason. It's a great fight. It's a highly ranked heavyweight fight. It's a rematch. Volkov looks to be in incredible shape. Gane is coming off a win, which people forget about. Everyone remembers the John Jones fight, but he destroyed Spivak. He hasn't fought in a while. He looks to be in tremendous shape. He is an elite heavyweight, and so is Volkov. The first fight, I wouldn't say necessarily was like close, but it was a 5-round beating. But Volkov did some good things. Now we got a 3-round fight here. But I don't know why I don't care about it. Maybe because I really care about the 2 final fights and the rest of the card's good. This one's slipping through the cracks for me. I don't know why. Ciryl Gane minus 375. I'm going to take Ciryl Gane here at minus 275. I have no real pulse on this fight whatsoever. I think he starts slow, so I think Volkov could sneak around in there. But I just think Ciryl Gane is more explosive, more athletic. I think if Volkov learned anything from John Jones' fight, maybe try to take him down, right? Because Gane's grappling is still going to be questioned, even though Volkov is not John Jones. But give me Gane. Again, just not even really caring about. I don't know why. Don't know why. Christian, what do you got?
That was a perfect breakdown. I see the chat breaking down about the same. I don't power rank the fights of like how I like them or rank them in terms of how compelling I think they are. But yeah, well, I would say this one would be somewhere around 9 or 10, which for how high it is on the card is not really commensurate with where it's actually placed. That was my big word of the night.
So now he's just on
Beautiful,
words.
yeah.
There you go. You
Used
finally
it
on
right.
the board. You texted Molly and said, "Molly, give me a big word to use."
I need
She
something.
She fired one back at you. That's awesome.
Yep, and it timed it perfectly. So yeah, I mean, it was not a very exciting. I don't even remember it. I
don't
had
either.
to go back.
I don't remember whatsoever.
Well, Lazy Bet said the best. The most memorable part is when he gets his hair combed between rounds.
I did see that recently.
It stayed on the feet a lot. They both landed over 100 strikes. Nothing significant or whatever. Gane was just a step ahead.
I can't see it going any different. Volkov, he doesn't. I mean, he's never been able to take somebody down. He needs somebody less athletic to take down. Like like a Tui Vasa or somebody like that.
Right.
He can close that distance with his length. Gane's too quick. I mean, this isn't John Jones at where he's got NFL level athleticism and and NCAA level wrestling. Volkov doesn't have that. He's got that long kick that'll keep things away, and then Gane will be able to touch him before Volkov can touch him. I think it's the same thing. I don't want to go too long on it because again, I think Gane wins 30-27, and maybe Volkov gets like a 29-28 on a card or two, but that's about it.
Sure. There you go. Good breakdown.
It could finish, I guess. But,
there could be a finish. I doubt it. I think it goes to decision. I think it goes over. Timbo, what do you got?
Yeah, it's wild how many people forget about the Spivak fight after the Jones fight. Like, that is just not talked about. He looked really fucking good.
He did.
And I don't see Volkov and Spivak being much different, to be honest with you. So I kind of see those going the same way. That's a good number on Volkov, though. But I do. And then where are Gane's priorities? You know, he just fucking filmed a movie, apparently. I guess it's a France movie or something. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. But, yeah, give me Gane here.
Give him Gane. It took him a minute. He hit pause. Kudos to Volkov for bracing and seeing hairline one a few thousand kids and going to Turkey. I never understood I have a full head of hair and I'm very blessed. I don't have any bald spots or anything.
What about Tybura, his hair?
Right. That's crazy. Right. But I fully anticipated him being bald. My real father was bald. He was losing hair by senior year of high school. My mother has very thin hair. My mother's adopted, so I don't know what her father has. You know, they always say it comes from her mother's side, right? Timbo's a bald man. He embraces it. That's what I would do. Like, if I'm losing, I'm shaving it. I don't who cares about turkey, right? I'm not doing that. And then another thing that guys do too is they dye their shit, right? Like my father-in-law, who's a 65-year-old man who's bald, who only has hair on the sides, like every other week, he's like, "Hey, can you come dye my hair?" Oh, are you kidding, bro? You're bald and 65, your grandfather. Embrace the gray. Like when guys go gray, I think they look fucking great. You know what I mean? Like there's a guy, Old Man Phil. That's what we called him. He's a driver I worked with. He had a great head of hair and he went gray. And I remember some guy who dyes his hair at work goes, "You ever think about dyeing that?" And Phil's like, "Why? I'm married with kids. What the fuck do I care?" Like waste money on hair dye. You know what I mean? Like shit, man. Like if you're a young guy and you go gray in your 20s, sure, that's tough. Or if you go bald in your 20s, yeah. But there's so many guys that are really sensitive about their hair. And I feel bad saying that because I got the best head of hair.
You do have a beautiful top.
You know what I mean? It's just
Christian does too. Y'all both are blessed with beautiful hair.
Christian's got some nice
No,
hair
mine's thinning out though. I just took it off. When it gets wet, you can it's like it looks like one of those guys that pulls it down. You can't really see it when it's dry, but
bro, mine's getting thicker. It's so hard to maintain. Dude, I'm serious. It's so hard to maintain. Like my wife, who's in the hair business, she's got fancy shampoos. I literally used to just use whatever, right? Now I have to read it because I'm like, if it says extra thickening, whatever, dude, like my hair is uncontrollable as it is. If I could put that in there, I'm fucked. All right, co-main event. This is very interesting. I love the main event as well. I think the main event's a high level fight, but this to me is probably the real main event. I'm glad they're not putting some bullshit title on the line. They're just basically going, whoever wins this fights Bilal. Bilal can fight early next year. It was just a toe infection, not just a toe infection, but he's recovered. He's okay. Shavkat Rakhmonov -380 versus Ian Machado Gary +295. So he's come down a little bit. I had him at +300. You guys know I'm a big fan of Ian Gary. I have been for a long time. I think, I don't know if he gets unnecessary hate. I think the hate is maybe proper. I think sometimes he doesn't know how to read the room. I think his ego is just like so crazy that he really doesn't care what people say. But then on the other side, he really cares what people say because you've seen him get into altercations outside the cage with fans and certain things. So it's kind of a weird mix with him, right? Regardless of that, he's a fantastic fighter. He's an incredible fighter. I think his stand-up is very good. I think his distance management, his footwork, his countering ability is all elite. And I have birdies everywhere. I know people everywhere. Not really. I know someone that knows somebody. And the rumors were months ago, Shavkat knocked out Ian in training. That didn't happen, right? But Shavkat did submit Ian multiple times in training. And Ian Gary today admitted that, which I loved. Ian's like, that was 2.5 years ago. He got me when we were practicing. If you think it's fucking, this is practice, sorry, right? But that tells me Shavkat is shooting for takedowns and going for takedowns because he knows that's where the advantage is at. Ian Gary has spent a lot of time in Brazil. He did this camp in Thailand. So obviously Thailand isn't known for their jiu-jitsu. They're known for their Thai boxing. Ian Gary on the feet is better than Shavkat Rakhmonov. People don't like to hear that because they love Shavkat, but that's true. Shavkat is a finisher. And that's my biggest holdup, is the reason I'm going Shavkat, is I think the number on Ian Gary is gorgeous. I've had so many messages of people going, dude, Ian Gary number is great. Ian Gary's number is great. If he stays on the feet, it's great. Yeah, but Shavkat is a very smart fighter, and he's going to get the fight to the ground, and I'm very curious. This isn't Michael Venom Page on the ground when Ian Gary dominated. This is a high-level fucking Eastern European bulldozer wrestling machine who has incredible submissions, 18 up, 18 down, all by finish. I like Shavkat here. I would be surprised if he doesn't finish. I think he's hunting a finish. I think he's hunting a submission. I think Ian Gary's going to take the loss well and go, hey, I'm young, I'm coming back. Shavkat by submission is plus 180. I'll take it. I like Shavkat, even though I would not be surprised at all if Ian Gary wins. And maybe even wins in good fashion by knockout. Shavkat is hittable. You know what I mean? I've said Shavkat like 6 times. I'm going to stop talking. You guys both do not like Ian Gary. I have the text messages. So I'll start with Timbo. What do you got?
I don't like him, but I do respect him. And but with that said, I think it's Shavkat by sub.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty. It is a gorgeous number on Gary, and Gary's undefeated. You know, he's withstood adversity and battled through it. But I mean, you're going to get taken down, and if you get taken down, you're going to get submitted. So I'm very fucking confident that Rakhmonov gets a submission. To be honest with you, and that's not because I don't like Ian Gary.
No, I know.
I think he's good.
Normally, you would break it down with fucking Gary. He's going to lose his fight. This is a sincere, I think, shot. This is a fight that I was very curious about because, again, Evan Glorious hit me up. Kenny Florian picked Ian Gary. Evan Longoria likes Ian Gary. It looks like Trent kind of likes Ian Gary. There's a ton of people that are on this guy, and it makes sense. I thought people weren't going to be on him because they didn't like him. You know what I mean? But the factor, Matt, like you were taking that out, and you're like, here's what I think. Because I do think if it hits the ground, I think that's going to make a world of difference. Christian, what do you got here, bub? You're a wild card. What do you got, man?
Yeah, well, so Ian Gary's a much better fighter than he is like a man on the mic. Better than his personality is. He's like,
okay.
If he let that shine, I think he'd be much more likable. He just forces everything. Maybe behind the scenes, like I don't know anybody that's ever talked to him. I'm not linked to the game like that, but you know he does.
I know somebody behind the scenes that deals with him quite a bit. If you want me to tell you what she thinks of him,
yeah, tell me.
Yeah,
you don't even have to name the
first class fucking guy. Polite,
all right, so
yeah, great
adorable.
Wife's, well.
Wife's amazingly nice.
Yeah.
His whole team that he rolls with are very polite. They're not demanding like some other squads. So the reputation behind the scenes is he's a fucking great, nice kid.
So he's just shitty on the mic. He's an annoying. Sure. He's a character, and his character isn't even a heel. It's just like, bro, shut the fuck up, please. Mm-hmm. We've had enough of you.
Yeah.
But, you know, and when you said he's a better striker than Shavkat, I agree, like, he may win a taekwondo competition, but this is an actual fight. Kind of like what Kron Gracie is going to find out. He's stepping into an actual fight. And
you're right.
Shavkat's relentless pressure. Best pressure.
Shavkat, on a scale of 1 to 10, Shavkat's a 7. Ian Gary's probably about 8.5. But, you know,
we're not talking about their looks, what you think of them. We're talking about their striking. Just because you love
I know what you're talking about. Ian Gary's a better striker, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, if this is a 5-round fight, which I don't think we brought up. So even with a cleaner striking game, I still don't think the pressure, unless he catches Shavkat, but Ian Gary doesn't really catch anybody or any good fighters.
What are you talking about? He caught D-Rod, bitch. You saying 1986 D-Rod ain't fucking a good fighter, bro? Got it?
No, he's not. Not anymore.
Come on, guys.
Shavkat's got 94. He's going to come in with a 94, 1994. God, what is that? 8 years younger, 8 years faster, 8 years stronger. I'll tell you what. I think it's Shavkat all day.
Shavkat? Okay.
Yeah. Look, I was just trying to be nice. I'm trying to turn a new leaf where I'm nice to some of these fighters.
That's very nice. And it's not even the New Year's yet, and you're already doing that. You're ahead of the curve. I appreciate that, man. Trindaddy disagrees with you, though. He says, I don't think Ian is a character, much like Bryce, like looking you in the eye and saying the world's flat. Ian isn't bullshitting. He believes in what he is saying. I sense to agree. I think when he gets on the microphone, at least in the cage, or maybe even like those high profile interviews, he's a very honest, egotistical guy, but I do think some of it is played up a little bit and some of it's not. We'll see, though, in the long run, right? I mean, listen, we all see what Conor McGregor's turned into. Hopefully Ian Gary doesn't turn into that. He's married with a child. Hopefully none of that bullshit happens to him, because a lot of those Irish boys, man, they're wild out there. You know, there's some shit that goes on in Ireland that is wild, but hopefully Ian Gary keeps it together. All right, next up, main event. Alexander Pantoja, minus 285 versus Kai Asakura, plus 230. Now, I said this on Andy Kafori, and I have since continue to watch more stuff on Asakura. I'm an MMA nerd, but I have really fallen off the wagon these past few years of knowing like the real true up-and-comers. And Asakura is a guy that really slipped through the cracks. I saw him fight Manel Kape when he lost to Manel Kape, and I saw him fight Horiguchi. Other than that, I didn't really see much of this guy. Now I went back and rewatched all his Risen stuff, and he's a phenomenal dude. His striking is really, really powerful and really good. It's not the most clean technique, which sometimes you don't want like the most perfect technique because it's readable. He's very explosive. That knee to the body or the knee to the head, either knee is fucking devastating. He's going to be big as well. This is, I believe, his first time down at 125. Most of his fights were like 130, 135 over in Risen. So, he's not a small guy going down to 125 against Pantoja. And I love that he skipped the line, because if you're Johnny Eblen, if you're Dakota Davikovic, however you say your last name, if you're any of these champs of the promotions, hey, you want to come to the fucking show? You can come skip the line. I'm totally okay with people come skip the line. You want to be the best in the world? Come on over to the UFC, prove you're the best in the world. There's a lot of fighters that want out of their contract. Patchy Mick, I think is an elite guy who would do very well in the UFC. He's what now? One of the Pitbull brothers wants out. Like, PFL is fucking it up right now. And that's, I think, is a great curveball. Hey, Asakura he jumped the line, right? There's some guys at 125 that could have maybe took this spot. They gave it to Asakura because of what he's done. This was tough. Can he pick Asakura? He really liked him here. And I was back and forth on it, but watching some of Asakura's fights, Pantoja is a wild man. He does like to stand in front of you sometimes and goes, let's go chin on chin. Asakura's been knocked out. 3 of the 4 losses were pretty big knockouts. I don't think his chin is elite. I think Pantoja's chin is elite, but I also think Pantoja has the ultimate X factor, and that's taking someone down and grappling him. I was really hoping Kai Asakura was training with like the Japanese wrestling team, because I don't know if you guys know this, the Olympics this year in wrestling, Japan swept. Like, they did incredible. They were never in the running. It's USA, it's Russia, it's Iran. Japan killed it. So they're really up in their game in the wrestling department. I was really wishing Asakura was training with them. He's not. He's got an American coach. I'm sure his anti-wrestling is good, but I think Pantoja, when he gets to the ground, he's elite. I think he's going to look for the finish there. I like Pantoja. I'm sliming him up as well.
Fucking sliming him up, baby.
Sliming him up, baby. But I think it's going to be a fun fucking fight. I would love Asakura to win. I am a fan of Japanese MMA, Japanese culture altogether. And he would be the first Japanese UFC champ, which I think is pretty historical if he does that. He's a good-looking kid, too. He dyes his hair blonde. He's handsome. Really marketable as well. And 125 kind of needs a kick in the ass. I love Pantoja. I think he's very underrated. And he's an exciting fighter. But personality-wise, I think there's some things that needs to work on. I think Kai Asakura could be way more flashy. In Japan, absolutely obsessed with MMA, even though Pride went. They're still absolutely obsessed with it. So Asakura winning is a big, big deal. So for the sport of MMA, Asakura winning is awesome. I'm going to go Pantoja, though. Timbo, what do you got?
I don't have much more to add other than what you said.
I went long. Sorry, I went long. I'm excited for this fight. I went long.
Yeah, me too. I've watched some highlights of this Asakura kid. He is exciting. But at the end of the day, it's striker versus grappler. Who you taking? I'm taking a grappler 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Pantoja is obviously more versatile. He gets hit though. He puts himself out there to get hit. And we've seen him withstand some of the biggest hitters granted it's at flyweight, but we've seen him take some good shots and be able to recover from them and bounce back. So I love Pantoja. I think he's awesome. Love his story, love the shit with his dad and him overcoming that. So give me Pantoja, but I do think it'll be a lot closer than most folks are thinking just because they aren't aware of Asakura and how good he can be.
Right. Yep. Christian, what do you got, bub?
Yeah, Bryan, no one would need to apologize going long on a breakdown like that when it's A+ grade. Don't
Nailed
worry
it.
about it.
A+.
It's fantastic. You really
A+ grade. Thank you, bud.
a history lesson and just a great background on both fighters.
I gotta be honest with you, I've never gotten an A in my life on anything. So you keep giving me A's. I mean, I feel really good. So thank you.
A+.
Thank you. A+. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Asakura is not that guy, pal.
Okay.
He's gonna have to catch him early. I think everybody, it's gonna have to be big power early, and he's gonna have to hit him clean and very clean because Pantoja has withstood everybody. Fig is the only person to ever even knock him down, and that guy, I mean, is a hard hitter at 135. He could probably knock down 145ers pretty easily. Asakura does have some sweet knees. That's but I think that Pantoja is more apt to waiting back and like catching something and then initiating a scramble or a takedown that way. Once he gets on top, just like your breakdowns, A+ grade, top control and attacks from there. I think he's going to be able to sub him pretty easy. If he got knocked out, it'd be shocking. Look, I think Asakura, though, you said it pretty well. Like he brings, what's up, Fight Talk Only? Brings a lot of excitement to this division because anybody not Pantoja, you can think about numbers ranked 1 through 5 or whatever. It's like, oh my God, this matchup be so much fun. Kai Kara France or Royval or any of these.
Moreno.
So Moreno, it brings a lot to the division. So I'm super happy they booked this fight. It's fine that it's the main event. Although I'm more excited about the co-main, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with Pantoja, and I think he's slime ball worthy.
Yeah, I think what the UFC did really nice here was obviously I think a lot of people like the co-main event too because 125 gets slept on, but they're also like it's kind of like a package deal, right? It's kind of almost insulting to call this the co-main event. It's main event 1, main event 2, and that's what the UFC did. Because usually if you get a blockbuster main event, the co-main event, unless it's like a huge card, the co-main event can be a little washy. Great breakdowns from everybody. All right, sign ball parlay. Alexandra Pantoja, Nate the Train, and Bryan Battle. That's coming at 255.
Juicy.
Plus 255 for Pantoja, Landwehr, Bryan Battle. Green Hammer, Bryan Battle by KO, plus 250, I believe what that was. And then the other Green Hammer was Doohoo Choi knockout round 1, plus 650. Woo! And then here we go. Say Merry Christmas, say it back. What's up, babe? Merry Christmas. He originally said Happy Holidays. I'm not a controversial person. I'm not a political person. I'm not a religious person. But, I said, if someone hits me with the Happy Holidays, they go, Merry Christmas. You know what I mean? I hit you with a Merry Christmas. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. All right, so we're in the locks, baby. Final locks of the year.
Wait. Before we do the locks.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out because this is our last one of the year. I want to give a shout out to everybody that participates in the chat because you guys keep me coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I love, I even get in there during an episode. To the people out there listening during these shows, as an audio guy who listens to other things in your truck, in your work or whatever, listening to this degenerate gambling content right now, because that's you audio people tomorrow. Love you guys. You're the reason that makes me keep doing this. And then least of all, YouTube, who keeps me coming back.
What, bro, dude? Jeez,
thank
was
you guys.
so nice. And then you fucking stabbed me in the back.
It's an honor to do it every week with you guys. So, to everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever.
Yeah. All right, so lock time, and you guys informed me I was the winner of last time. Listen, there's a lot of options here. I think I can wait on my mortals, so I'm going to go get that diggity dog, and I'm going to go Cody Durden as my dog lock, boys. We all took him. We all like him. I took him. Timbo, dog lock. What you got, bub? Or no, dog lock. Yeah.
Give me Luque.
Luque, nice dog lock.
Those are the only two I had written down, so that's why I told you guys least of all.
Really? So you only have two? No, you got.
Let me change mine. Actually,
okay.
I'm going with Eryk Anders.
Eryk Anders. Okay, he's a slight dog. I'll give that to you. All right, Christian.
I pre-write down my choices, and then.
Okay, so who do you got now?
I'm gonna take Luque then.
Okay, you can get Luque. All right. Now, Christian, pick either Sendum or Mortal.
I'll take Pantoja as my Mortal.
Nice pick there. Timbo, Mortal Lock, bub.
Shit. Give me for my Mortal. Give me Evloev.
That's good.
Say that name for me again, Christian. You nail it.
Evloev. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay. Other than not like Anik says it, because I don't even know how he makes that noise, but Evloev.
Evloev. Yeah, mine's gonna be Bryan.
Anik has a weird thing that I don't even know what he does.
It's so funny. So Anik blamed Jason for the pronunciation of wheat being axed. And Jason called me up and was like, bro, listen, he made it seem like I didn't want you to do it. No, it pisses me off because everyone in the world will say Adesanya. And he's got to correct him and be the asshole that goes, actually, it's Adesanya. And he goes, fuck you, John. We're not playing that game. It was very funny. And then if you watch, I think it was, remember the show with Bilal and Jason, whatever, and Mike Valley, who is Bilal's coach. It's a Spanish name, and it's really pronounced like Mike Valale or some shit like that. And that's how Anik pronounced it. And Jason just went off on him like, we're not doing that here. Fuck you. It's Valley. Everyone knows that. Very funny stuff. All right. So my Mortal Lock was Bryan Battle. So Christian, who just went, so Timbo, send him home.
Rakhmonov.
18-0,
18 finishes, folks. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
18-0, 18 finishes. 10,000. All right. CC, Christian Costello, what's your send him home, babe?
I'll take Chase, Mr. Hands Hooper.
Mr. Hands Hooper. I like
went
both
rabbit
those.
Hole that's a wild going engineer.
All right.
Yeah, it's a great Wikipedia read.
My send him home is going to be a little bit of an easy one, a little bit of a cheap one, but I want to end the year with the straps. Give me Dominick Reyes. All right. So recap of all our locks. Christian's Mortal Lock is, Pantoja. His dog lock is Luque, and his send him home is Chase Hooper. Timbo's Mortal Lock is Movsar Evloev. His dog lock is Eryk Yaboy Anders, and his send him home is Shavkat Rakhmonov. My Mortal Lock is Bryan Battle. My send him home is Dominick Reyes, and my dog lock is Cody Durden. That is the show, baby. We ended the year good. I got to go eat some meatballs. I got to be up at 5. Oh, man, dinner late. Indigestion's not going to be happy, but guess what? I do it for you guys. Christian, you guys are fantastic. Timbo, you're the best. Chat, you're even better. Let's go, boys. Thank you. Thank you for everybody. We'll see you.